Have a look at this clip.
The legacy that my father has left, not only this country but the world, it's so important that we sustain that. And that legacy can be sustained by ensuring that we in turn support community groups and other charities. There's no greater reward for us than ensuring that those charities and groups are allowed to shine.
That was Hannah Ingram Moore, the daughter of Captain Tom Moore. He was the 100-year-old former serviceman who raised money for NHS charities during the COVID lockdown. The Captain Tom Foundation was set up in his name in 2020, and in 2021, after his death, Ingram Moore became its CEO on a salary of £85,000 a year. That video we showed you was a promotional clip for a 2021 award associated with the foundation, the Virgin Media O2 Captain Tom Foundation Connector Award. BAFTA's who? Oscar who? That's the award that we're all trying to get here. In exchange for judging these awards and appearing at ceremonies, Ingram Moore is reported to have been paid thousands of pounds. You might think, what a great way to make some money for the foundation she was in charge of. Except, of course, it wasn't, because it turns out Ingram Moore was banking the cash in her own private family company, rather than turning it over to the Captain Tom Foundation. The Charity Commission has been investigating conflicts of interest between the foundation and the family business after concerns over potential mismanagement and misconduct were aired. They told the BBC this. Our inquiry into the Captain Tom Foundation remains ongoing. Its scope includes examining whether the trustees have adequately managed conflicts of interest, including with private companies connected to the Ingram Moore family. A spokesperson for the Captain Tom Foundation told the BBC this. The Captain Tom Foundation is aware of the commercial arrangements made by Hannah Ingram Moore with Virgin Media O2 in respect of the Virgin Media Captain Tom Foundation Connector Awards. This matter is the subject of an ongoing internal investigation. The Charity Commission has been notified of the Foundation's review of this matter, and the Foundation will share its findings once the investigation has concluded. The BBC also asked Hannah Ingram Moore for comment, and this is how the BBC reported her response. Replying to a BBC email about this matter, Hannah Ingram Moore said via email, "You are awful. It's a total lie." 6 minutes later, she added, "Apologies. That reply was for a scammer who has been creating havoc." Okay, Hannah, whatever you say. Ash, what do you make of Hannah Ingram Moore entering her villain era? I think she should embrace it. Get the whole Maleficent like thingies in her face and get some thin eyebrows. I think she could work it.
I picture her more like Two-Face from Batman. So she's like, fuck off, it's a lie, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, no, bad Hannah, there's a scammer. Oh, it's causing havoc. I'm just loving this kind of cartoonish split personality. Look, I find this whole story hilarious, right? It's hilarious because the thing was an obvious grift from the start, but the climate of kind of hysterical nationalism, which engulfed Captain Tom, meant that you couldn't state the obvious when it was happening. Otherwise, you'd have a million people jumping down your neck, calling you a terrorist sympathizing Britain hater. There was an early interview that Hannah Ingram Moore did where she outlined the fact that she and her husband had been in financial troubles, the business was failing, didn't know where money was going to come from, lockdown happens, and then that's when her father started walking, which is such a suspicious timeline of events when you think about it. Just sitting there right out in the open. But because Captain Tom appealed to this imagery of pulling together, blitz spirit, keep calm and carry on, someone who has a very personal living connection to World War II, all of those patriotic symbols were able to flimsily disguise what was going on underneath it. And so then suddenly here comes, Captain Tom branded gin. Well, you can't say that that's a bad thing to do. Oh, here comes the holiday to the Bahamas during a pandemic on which he caught the COVID that killed him. Oh no, you can't say anything because, doesn't he deserve a holiday after everything he's done? Well, yeah, he did deserve a holiday. Lifetime of service and charitable activity. He also probably deserved to live a lot longer rather than being killed by a disease because his daughter wanted a free Caribbean holiday.